gonna say he's faint.
He's faint, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that better?
That's better. That's definitely better. I like your haircut.
My haircut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can go back on mute. Hi, Celia.
Is this too busy
Hello,
behind?
everyone.
Hello. to a happy and healthy 5781.
L'shana tova tikatevu.
Happy New Year from the Schmucklers.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year.
Lashana Tova.
Happy New Year, Lashana Tova, and a healthy 5781.
Happy New Year, Shana Tova.
Happy New Year to everyone. May we all live for the next year in peace and happiness.
Lashana Tova. Happy New Year from the Friedman, Schnapp, and McGowan family.
Lashana Tova. Let's repair the world this year.
Say Lashana Tova. Lashana Tova.
Lashana Tova, everyone.
Lashana Tova from the Caymans.
Have a sweet new year.
Hi everyone, Lashana Tova. Wish we could be with all of you, but since we can't, we're happy to provide something that we hope you will enjoy. Bye.
Welcome to Shoreshim. Happy New Year from Lou.
Hugs, everyone. Have a safe and healthy New Year.
Wishing you all a warm Lashana Tova from the Feldman family.
Hey everyone, it's Blake. I'm currently up in Connecticut and wanted to wish everyone a great and sweet New Year.
or returning to our true holy nature. And the third is tzedakah, charity, righteousness, or social justice. Now we focus on these themes to seek to be worthy of inclusion in the book of life by Yom Kippur. I'm being told I'm muted, but I'm not muted.
You're fine. Carry on. Carry on. It's
okay.
fixed.
So this is going to be the first of perhaps many little glitches as we go through. So we're just going to roll with it as we do in Shoreshim. Our service is led by members, and you'll see that a number of the segments today are pre-recorded. And this pre-recording is really necessary so we can bring to you some really beautiful music and make this service as lovely as possible given the format that we need to work in. And this doesn't happen by itself. It required help from a lot of people. So I want to make a few thank yous before we begin. First, by thanking the Shoreshim board and thanking the High Holidays Committee for all of their support to pull all of this together. I'd also like to thank our cantor for this evening, Carrie Human, for all of her efforts in putting this together. And of course, the committee that I've been working with, Sharon and Steve Canner, Sue Goldfeder. You've been so helpful in all of this, and all of the individuals who are taking different parts in the service For those of you who are members of Shoreshim, you will have received the order of service. There are too many names to call out. They're all on there, and we're very grateful for your participation in this tonight. And finally, this would not be possible without our online production manager, Courtney Michelle. So a huge thank you to you, Courtney. I'll now ask Amy Joyce, our co-president, to share her welcome remarks. So Amy?
Thank you, Celia. Lashana Tova and Shabbat Shalom. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amy Joyce. I'm the co-president of Shoreshim Jewish Community. Welcome to our members, their family and friends, and our guests. Whether you're celebrating your 43rd Rosh Hashanah with us, which many of you are, or your first, we're honored to have you join us. Last year at this time, we never could have predicted how challenging the second half of 5780 would become in so many ways. And as we enter 5781, we have no idea what the new year will bring. But we at Shoreshim have persevered. I'm incredibly proud and impressed with the way we came together as a community. In the spring, we moved quickly to bring our services and events online with Zoom. We transitioned our Hebrew School Club online, which allowed the older students to graduate on time. We knew how important it was for our members to have a connection over the summer, so we've created summer events, a first for us, and they included a series of Shabbat services and discussions with Rabbi Ben, a conversation about the show Unorthodox, and an intriguing presentation and discussion with the head of the local NAACP. Sadly, we realized it wasn't possible to meet for the high holidays in person this year, so we formed a special task force who, along with the high holiday chairpersons, took on the Herculean task of figuring out the best way to bring our wonderful high holiday services to all of you online. So here we are, and you're all viewing us via our brand new Shoreshim YouTube channel. Although it might look like this was easy, it definitely was not. Getting to this point required a tremendous amount of effort, planning, filming, and stress by a long list of people, many of whom you'll see tonight and during the rest of the high holiday services. But there are so many unsung heroes who work behind the scenes, and to each and every one of you, I am so grateful. What all this has shown me is that as Jews, give us a purpose, and with passion, commitment, and perseverance, we can make it happen. 5781 will surely bring a lot of uncertainty and new challenges, and also a lot of sweetness and joy. But to ensure we are able to persevere, we as individuals need to dig deep and ask ourselves, what is my purpose? What do I want this year to look like? What do I want to accomplish? And how can I give back to both my community as a whole, as well as my Jewish community? And you need to find the passion. And with a bit of hard work and perseverance, find a way to make the world a better place for yourself, your family and friends, and your community. May 5781 bring you health, happiness, contentment, and a real purpose. Thank you for coming, and a huge thank you to everyone who has worked so hard to make these high holidays happen. If you want to find out more about becoming a member of Shoreshim or to make a donation, you can visit us on our website at restinshoreshim.org. Thank you.
May this be a year of love and kindness. May strangers come to be friends. May truth and compassion always guide us. Amen. May this be a year of hope and healing for all of those in need. May all of our deeds
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
If you're at home and you want to follow, you can take the light of the candles in 3 times.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov. Baruch atah Adonai.
So it's still echoing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu azman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu azman hazeh. La karoti le kratkala, panei Shabbat nekabala, lechadoti le kratkala, panei Shabbat nekabala, lechadoti le kratkala. B'nei Shabbat nekabala, lechadoti lekrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabala, shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, ishmianu el ham echad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem tiferet v'litila. Lechadoti lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabala, lechadoti lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabala, likrat Shabbat lekuven elcha, ki machor habracha, me'rosh mikerem nesu'ah, sof maseh b'machshava tchila. Lechadoti
Season of the Spirit. Summer is passing. The days grow shorter. The sounds and colors of nature, the stirring of the wind, speak to us of the changes in the world, in life, and in our course on earth. We are also about to enter upon a new season of the spirit, of the soul. It reminds us of our changing lives and fortunes, of the changes that take place within our homes, our communities, and our world. It bids us to look upon changes that have taken place within ourselves, awed and subdued. We stand before the threshold of a new year. We recall those moments in the past when we rejoiced in our victories and our achievements, our decent impulses and our generous action. But now, in the presence of that eternity to which a dying year compels our attention, we are mindful that our defeats were greater than our triumphs. We failed ourselves by failing to rise to our own level. We failed our human beings by failing them in their need for our love and respect. We failed our God by worshiping ourselves. For all these, at this turning point in endless time, we would seek forgiveness, our God. We come to you to help lift us the burdens of ourselves, of our souls. For there is none of us so virtuous or so proud whose heart does not cry out, despite ourselves, for forgiveness.
Tefillah means prayer. Prayer is not an escape from duty. It is no substitute for the deed. Prayer seeks the power to do wisely, to act generously, to live helpfully. It helps to reinforce the act rather than to replace it.
So we're going to chant the Baruch Hu, and if you choose to rise, please do that. As you know, the Baruch Hu is the call to worship, and it is customary to bow when saying the Baruch Hu and again at Baruch, and then to straighten up at Adonai. Baruch Adonai, Baruch Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Adonai, Baruch Le'olam Vaed. Please be seated. Next, we're going to read the Ma'ariv Aravim, and I invite you to join me on the choruses. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, I will sing it, and then you will join me as we sing the choruses, and I'll be reading in between. So it goes like this. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv Aravim, Amen. You can read with me as well. You abound in blessings, Eternal One, our God, sovereign of all time and space, whose word brings on twilight. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv Aravim, Amen. With wisdom, you open gateways. With understanding, you alter times. Vary the seasons and assign the stars to their watches in the sky. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv Aravim, Amen. Creator of day and night, who rolls light away from darkness and darkness from light. You cause day to pass and bring about night. Distinguishing between day and night, sources of all forces is your name. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv Aravim, Amen. O living and ever-enduring God, reign over us forever and ever. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who brings on twilight. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv Aravim. Amen.
The Shema and the Via Hafta proclaim our belief in one God, our responsibility to educate ourselves and our children in the Torah, and the importance of rituals and ceremonies as gateways to faith and morality. Many people cover their eyes while reading the first line of the Shema.
I will be chanting one word per breath. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha l'kol b'levavka u'v'kol nafshecha u'v'kol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anachi u'mitzvacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha Uvlaktaka baderek, ukshakpaka uvkumecha, ukshaktam leod oyedeka, vehayula totofot beneinecha, uktaftam amazuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. And now your favorite, Via Hafta.
Learn to live your life with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, and love all humankind as you would love yourself. Learn to live your life with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, and love all humankind as you would love yourself. We've got happy lives to live. We've got open arms to give. We've got hope deep down inside, because in love we do reside. V'ahavta et Hashem Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'kol nafshecha u'v'kol me'odecha. V'ahavta et Hashem Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'kol nafshecha u'v'kol me'odecha. V'ivdu et Hashem b'simcha b'ahu v'anu b'yachalav v'avter l'erecha k'modecha. V'ahavta et Hashem Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'kol nafshecha u'v'kol me'odecha.
Shema Yisrael. Did you hear it? A word has been spoken. It floats on a breath from the silence, from the stillness, from the nothing. Listen, Yisrael, from that place deep within where you struggle with the divine. Be still and listen. Breathe with the one breath. Hear the one sound, the one that is all. Be still and come to know the spark that remembers its source. Bind as a sign upon your hand, know, Yisrael, that if you reach out with open hands, you may receive and give in partnership with the divine. Visible before your eyes, if you see with wonder when you look, you may recognize the unity of all life. Shema Yisrael. Inscribe this memory, this knowing, on the doorposts to your hearts and on the gates of your lives, on those places from which you come and go, those places which sometimes close up with fear and confusion. Inscribe them there so they may be flung open with love, the love that is boundless and timeless, that flows on the breath that spoke the word that our souls hear. This is the promise inscribed on the mezuzah, on the doorposts which frame our lives, by the one who breathes through eternity, when we stop to listen and to hear.
Mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, be'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, neder b'kodesh, norati lo.
Shelter me with peace. I imagine your presence as the gracious, majestic, rich green canopy of a tree stretching upward, outward, with me nestled quietly against the sturdy trunk, resting on the sweet-smelling leaves and soft moss. Keep me dry from the rain of sadness. Save me from the cold winds of doubt. Protect me from the darkness of the unknown so that I may rise and venture forth and touch your world. Your sacred breath whisks away all but the purest presence in me. Angel wings brush my face. Watch over me as a parent peers on a sleeping child. Be the presence I feel, soft, sheltering, strong, cradling me to safety. Your canopy over me, under me, surrounding me, sheltering me with peace.
I will now chant the Chatzi Kaddish. It is the transition between the Shema and the Amidah. Yitkata v'yitkata Shemei Rabbah v'yom adivrahirutei v'yamlik malchutei v'chayechonu v'yamechonu v'kayeda kol Beit Yisrael Bagala bagala u'bizman kariv ve'amru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarak Le'olam olam me'amaya yitbarak. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitba'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalav Shemei Kedusha b'richu Li'ela u'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata Damiram B'Yama Ve'amru Amen.
The Amidah is the central part of a Jewish service and is recited while standing and facing east towards Jerusalem. On Shabbat and holidays, the Amidah consists of 7 blessings. 1 connecting to our ancestors, the renewal of nature and life, holiness, the sanctity of the day, a return to Zion, thanksgiving, and peace. We invite you to read the following Amidah silently through page 20. We also ask you to take time to reflect on your personal thoughts and prayers. Now, for those who have the printed Machzor from our website, it has Hebrew and English. We'll be sharing a consolidated English version on the screen with you.
I'm going to chant the first line and then it will be silent. Adonai Sifetai Tiftach Ufi Agita Hilatecha Adonai Sifetai Tiftach Ufi Agita Hilatecha. Oh God, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Oh God, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Adonai Sifetai Tiftach Ufi Agita Hilatecha Adonai Sifetai Tiftach Ufi Agita Hilatecha.
Teshuvah means repentance. Teshuvah literally means return. Spiritually return is the process of realignment with the divine presence within us and around us, with family and community.
is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven.
Reflect, aspire, pursue justice. We shall live, who shall live and who shall die? Who shall persist by sword, and who shall beast? Who by hunger and who by thirst? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who shall become poor and who shall become rich? Over and over again in the High Holiday Liturgy, we admit our vulnerability before the great forces of the universe: violence and war, hunger, natural disaster, disease, and poverty. We acknowledge that our individual fates during the coming year are, to a large extent, subject to the forces beyond our control. But we follow each of these pronouncements of helplessness with a declaration of potency. Uteshuva, utefila, tzedakah, mavarim, et ro hagzareh. Repentance, prayer, and charity avert the severe degree. Traditionally, we read these in a mitigating practices. Perhaps if we repent, pray, and give tzedakah, we shall be spared. But this year, what if we read this trio of teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah differently? Instead of seeing these as ways of avoiding personal punishment after the fact, what if we look at them as ways to make a better world going forward? A world in which more people live full lives and fewer die unnecessary deaths. A world in which there is less bloodshed and war, and fewer deaths at the hands of beastly rulers. a world in which hunger is less persistent and no one dies of thirst, a world in which the aftermath of earthquakes is alleviated and natural disasters are anticipated and addressed, a world in which no one is forced to live on less than $1 a day, and in which we close the distance between the rich and the poor. This year, let us read Teshuvah, Tefillah, and Tzedakah also as reflect, aspire, and pursue justice, our 3 vehicles for repairing the world and ourselves.
If you choose, I invite you to rise. We made the decision not to have the ark here, so it's somewhere else. But if you want to rise because you feel so called, please do. And the first part of this is what we will be chanting in between the various verses. And it's actually a call and response. And so I'll be chanting the Rosh Hashanah, Yikate Vun, etc. And so then in between, you will chant it. Rosh Hashanah, Yikate Vun, Uvyom Som Kippur, Yechate Mun, Rosh Hashanah, Yikate Vun, Uvyom Som Kippur, Yechate Mun, Kama Ya'arun, V'chama Yibareun, Mi Yichyehu, Mi Yamut, Mi V'kitzo, Umi Lo V'kitzo, Rosh Hashanah, Yikate Vun, Uvyom Som Kippur, Yechate Mun, Mi Va'eshu, Mi Va'mayim, Mi V'charev, Mi V'chaya, Mi V'ra'av, Mi V'tzama, Mi V'ra'ash, Mi V'magefa, Mi V'chanika, Mi V'sikila, Rosh Hashanah, Yikate Vun, Uvyom Som Kippur, Yechate Mun, Mi Yanuchach, Mi Yanua, Mi Ashaketu, Mi Ataref, Mi Shalev, Mi Et Yasar, Mi Yi'ani, Mi Ye Asher, Mi Yashifel, Mi Arum, Rosh Hashanah, Yikate Vun, Uvyom Som Kippur, Yekate Mun, Rosh Hashanah, Yikate Vun, Uvyom Som Kippur, Yechate Mun.
Una Toka Takeoff. Now we declare, when we really begin a new year, it is decided, and when we actually repent, it is determined. Who shall be truly alive, and who shall merely exist? Who should be happy, and who miserable? Who shall be tormented by the fire of ambition, and whose hope shall be quenched by the waters of failure? Who shall be pierced by the sharp envy, and who shall be torn by the wild beast of resentment? Who shall hunger for companionship, and who shall thirst for approval? Who shall be shuddered by storms of change, and who shall be plagued by the pressures of conformity? Who shall be strangled by insecurity, and who shall be beaten into submission? Who shall be content with their lot, and who shall wander in search of satisfaction? Who shall be serene, and who shall be distraught? who shall be at ease and who shall be afflicted with anxiety, who shall be poor in their own eyes and who shall be rich in tranquility. But tefillah, tefika, prayer, change, and social justice have the power to change the character of our lives. May we resolve then to turn from our unaccustomed way and behave righteously so that we may truly begin a new year.
Tzedakah, righteous deeds, social justice. On giving. According to Israel's law, no one has a right to more than bread, water, and wood as long as the poor are not provided with the necessities of life. Take care of your own soul and another's body, not of your own body and another's soul. If we save one life, this will be considered as if we preserve the whole world. Blessed are those who can give without remembering and take without forgetting. A bone to the dog is not charity. Charity is the bone shared with the dog when you are as hungry as the dog.
The blowing of the shofar follows a prescribed pattern. It is composed of 3 sets of blasts, each consisting of 3 repetitions of 3 notes. Each set is different from the other. The notes are tkiyah, 1 long blast. Like a simple cry of the soul, a sound of attention, a call to gather. The verb taka in Hebrew is to blow. Tkiyah comes from taka, so it means blowing of the shofar. Shvarim, 3 broken sounds, a sound of brokenness, like the sigh of a broken heart, grasping for hope. Shvarim comes from the root shavar, meaning broken. Tul'ah, 9 staccato notes, like the sound of someone crying out to seek compassion. Tul'ah also means the sound of the shofar. Some people believe there is a connection between crying or wailing and the sound of the shofar. Tkiyah gdolah, the final sound, is 1 prolonged blast. This long drawn-out sound expresses the confidence that we have triumph, rejoice. 2 blessings are recited before the shofar is blown. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לשמע קול שופר. Blessed you are, the force of unity of the universe. We are prepared and blessed to hear the sound of the shofar. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Blessed you are, the force of unity of the universe, who has provided us the earth, enabled us to thrive, and kept us alive, sustained us, and brought us to this season. תקיעה. דברים תרועה. תקיעה. תקיעה. דברים תרועה. תקיעה. תקיעה. דברים תרועה. תקיעה. Listen to the sound of the shofar as it drives awe into our hearts. It asks us to wake from our slumbers, to arise from our sleep and examine our lives, to inspect our actions and deeds, to look into ourselves and amend our ways, to cry for the needless pain in the world. Tkiya. Barim. Tkiya. תקיעה. שברים. תקיעה. תקיעה. שברים. תקיעה. Listen to the sound of the shofar. It reminds us of the upcoming day of reckoning, that time does not stand still, that it is never too late, to renew our commitment to strive for a better world, to remember our place in the universe, our relationship to the past and to Judaism. We blow the long blast not to bring down any physical walls, but to shatter the walls of ignorance and injustice. Tkiya. Ula. Yeah. 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 אשרי העם יודע תרועה אדוני באור פניך יהלכון. We conclude this service with a hopeful look towards the future, as the blowing of the shofar is followed by the reading of the verse from Psalm 89. Happy are the people who know the shofar blast. O eternal universe, they walk in the light of your presence. 89:16. May today's sounds and reflections remain the guiding light in our paths to understanding, action, loving, and making peace with our earth and its inhabitants. Tkiya Gdola.
So please stand or stay standing if you so choose. We rise for the Aleinu to acknowledge the one who formed creation. We also look towards the future when the world is at peace.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'tei gedula yotzer bereshit shanatan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu v'anachnu klorim u'mishnakavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. With Aleinu l'shabeach, we reaffirm these commitments to honor creation, the natural world in its fullness, its beauty and wonder, to be open to revelation, our capacity for awareness, our experience of truth, and to help bring about redemption, a world in which justice is pursued and peace is lived. Together, and then all that has divided us will merge, and then compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind. And then both women and men will be gentle. And then both women and men will be strong. And then no person will be subject to another's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young, and then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth. And then everywhere will be called Eden once again. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech ha'aretz v'yam hahu yiyeh Adonai echad. U'shamo echad. Please be seated.
At the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. At the blowing of the wind and the chill of the winter, we remember them. At the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the shining of the sun and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. At the beginning of the year and at its end, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now part of us as we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. And when we have joy we crave to share, we remember them. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them. And when we have achievements that are based on theirs, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now part of us as we remember them.
So I would like to read names of people in our community and in our country who we're remembering at this time. First, I was shocked just before services began to hear that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. Other deaths in our country this year: John Lewis, Kirk Douglas, Kenny Rogers, Kobe Bryant, Irene Poland, Jerry Stiller, Carl Reiner, and Wes Unsold. And then in our Shoreshim community, we're still very fresh with the loss of Ted Stewart, and he's remembered by the whole community, and especially his wife, Shauna, and kids, Abby and Megan. Other names, Florence Silverman and Isabella Davis, remembered by Celia. Susanna Harahan and Peggy Miles, remembered by Sam and Eileen. Helen's yahrzeit is observed by her daughter Deb. Gladys Grunwald, remembered by the Feldman family, as well as Sigmund and Shirley Horvitz. Fran remembers her parents, Lillian and Leonard Friedman. Bob remembers his parents, Gertrude and Saul Schnapp. Fran remembers her other mother, Shirley Stromberg Gluckstein. Liz remembers her mom, Lillian. Davud remembers his aunt, Muluk Yahid. And now, if you would like to rise and recite Mornis Kaddish with me. Yikadav Yikadash Shemei Rabbah, B'yamah Divrachi Rute, B'yamlich Malchute, B'chayichon Uvyamechon Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Balagala Uvizman Kari V'yamru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Lomeo Maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbarar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudashah b'richu le'ela u'le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'yoma v'yimru amen Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya Mechayim Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru Amen.
So I have a few closing announcements. I say closing, but we will still do Adon Olam after this. First, I wanted to mention the dates for our high holiday services after this one. Tomorrow, we have the Rosh Hashanah day service, and that will start at 10 a.m. We will also be live streaming the Yom Kippur services. We'll have a Kol Nidra service on September 27th at 7:30 p.m. And the following morning, we'll have the Yom Kippur day service at 10 a.m. If you don't have a link or you lose this link, no worries. Just go to our website, restinshoreshim.org, and it'll say High Holidays in the banner right on the front, and you can get there from there. As we think about what we can do for society, Rosh Hashanah is a particularly good time of year to consider tzedakah. And I just want to mention the 3 charities that Shoreshim is actively engaged with. The first is A Simple Gesture, and we've supported Bob Schnapp since he began A Simple Gesture, which is a food collection program that many of us are engaged in that provides much needed food to local pantries. The next one is The Closet in Herndon, located in downtown Herndon, and it's a nonprofit thrift shop that assist low-income families by basically, people donate clothing and household necessities to the closet, and they sell them at inexpensive prices, and they also give away to those truly in need and do much more for the community. And last but certainly not least, we support Cornerstones, which was established in 1970 to address the need for affordable housing, and has since then grown to become a significant human service provider and advocate for those struggling economically. So all 3 of these organizations have had a meaningful impact on our society. And you can find out more about them on from our website and their own web pages. So those are our closing announcements. It's been wonderful being with you tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the services and enjoy the rest of them, and enjoy Adon Shalom.
Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, V'hefsachol, Azai Malach Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Hiloch HaKol, Levado Yimlok Nara Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hoveh, V'hu Yeh B'Tiferet Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, V'hefsachol, Azai Malach Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Echad, V'ein Sheni, Laham Shilo Lahakbira Adon Olam, B'li Reshit, B'li Tachlit, V'lo Zaham Yisrael Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, V'hefsachol, Azai